And we live, baby.
Shit, I've been trying. Trust me, I have.
Welcome to the
Lord knows I have.
conversation of
Yeah,
niggas
we
trying to be
know.
whores. I'm your boy,
We
Thank you.
know. We heard about you
Jose.
I did,
giving your number out to the goddamn bus driver and shit.
and that was different circumstances.
I'm sure it
That
was.
was different
I'm sure you were
circumstances.
so interested in talking to him about Braun.
I mean, like, I had to act like I was a fucking trade somewhat, you know. I'm a homo, but I don't watch basketball. But that conversation had me interested.
I bet
I
it
got,
did.
I swiped my card. I was like, oh, he's
It
cute.
probably had nothing to do with his buns at all.
You know, he was, bus drivers say sit down or whatever. But I was watching.
Okay,
And
so, like I said, this is your boy, Jose. I said, you're here. Obviously, you see who's on the mic, and both of them are in high grades of fuckery today. So we don't have to. We'll skip the introductions, but
Your pardon.
I'm pretty sure they introduced themselves in a little moment they just had with each other in front of y'all. I said you heard. So today, petty review. You're like, ain't no what the fuck's going on? Sunday, it's basketball. Ain't no goddamn pay-per-view. Well, we're here to talk wrestling. We're gonna talk what the fuck is going on in the wrestling world as we know it. What things, people, stories, drama, da 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 da. But before we get all that started, the petty one has his own little section that he wants to start it off with, and that's what we're gonna do. So go ahead, B, and tell them what you want to do.
So the ones that left us way too soon. How about that? The greats that left us way too soon.
And for y'all that is not picking that up all the way, that means wrestlers who died young or before their time. Said you heard.
And I'll start it off. And this is one that's going to come way from left field from with you guys. But the one that left way too soon, that should have been more than a hardcore champion, was Crash Holly.
Mm-hmm. How do you know nigga was dead? Whew. Shit.
Yeah, he been dead.
Yeah, he died from, I believe it was a drug overdose. I believe it what it was.
Well, let's be honest. Most of them are drug overdoses. So
Right.
there's only a few that are like not drugs/heart attack because of steroids related. So
Well, shout out my boy Owen Hart. I said you heard. I am not a nugget.
We didn't
he
get
is
that
one
far
of
yet
the
for Owen. We
few.
didn't get
He
that-
is
we
one
didn't
of the
get that
few
far
that was
yet.
not related to those things.
Right, we didn't get that far with Owen Hart yet, but I'm sure he will be mentioned, but we didn't get that far yet. But Crash Holly to me was the underdog, and he made the hardcore division back when WWF was popping in my eyes. He was the Houdini
He was
of
the one who did the
hardcore.
24-hour
He's one of
rule
the
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he made it.
That made that
interesting.
shit. Yeah, that made that shit what it was.
That made
People
it
trying to
yes.
pin him in the goddamn Potomac River and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. So I wanted to get Crash out the way first before I forgot his little word, his ass. But I had to mention Crash because a lot of people do forget about Crash Holly. I have not forgot about Crash Holly. He's one of my favorites. Not one of the best, but he's one of my favorites. Where your fat ass going?
Okay, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
In the middle of your conversation. So
Right.
nextly, I would say, I don't know. I mean, of course, I don't give a fuck. Niggas kiss my ass. Chris Benoit, shout out to Crippler, Crossface. Everybody steal your move and they call it something different now. What do you expect when the man's was headbutting off the top rope, night in and night out, and niggas act like y'all ain't know what concussions was? I mean, shit. That's what the fuck we at. That's what happened, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Then we find out.
Listen.
I found
Go
out,
ahead.
seeing a little notice that said my man's only had like 6 months, 8 months to live before he did what he did anyways, because he found out his heart was swelled up from some shit. Yeah. Benoit, that's my guy. We don't know what happened. I ain't gonna say until I get definitive evidence that you just was murking niggas. I don't believe that. So, and y'all can feel some type of way about it. I don't give a fuck. That's it. You hear it?
That's one of the goats. In my
Yeah.
eyes, he's one of the GOATs. Now, I didn't watch him in WCW. Y'all know I'm anti-WCW. Y'all both know this. I am anti-WCW.
Bitch.
But I did watch him in ECW, and he was good. But it's not that he came to the
ECW?
WWF. Yeah, he already had
He
two
was in
matches.
ECW.
Yeah, he
Oh,
only had
okay.
two
I thought
matches.
I thought you was talking about that new ECW shit. Like, don't ever try to
no.
pass.
We
No,
didn't
he
get
was in
that far yet.
original ECW.
Yeah.
So was Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero.
Right,
Yeah, no,
Rey
I know that,
Mysterio
and Rey
on that
Mysterio,
one.
I know, and Jericho, I know all that shit. I just meant, I thought you were saying, I thought you were associating his ECW with
Nah.
that time they tried to make him win the EC title or ECW belt type shit.
Yeah.
But no, I watched him then, and then when he went to WCW,
WWE.
He went to WCW. I left. I just stopped watching him, and then WWE he came. I liked how they played, how they had his role, and then he got to fight The Rock, and I was excited about, and they just kept dripping him over for the title, and then lets you know where he stood at, and then a year later. He had a championship run, and then he wound up getting injured. It was just so much. He's just the GOAT to me. You can't dispute me on that one. I'm sorry. He wasn't
I
overhyped.
definitely wouldn't say he's the GOAT, but he's definitely one of my favorite wrestlers. Outside of, well, I'm just saying he's not the GOAT.
Well, he's not Shawn Michaels because he's more technical than Shawn Michaels.
But Shawn Michaels is the GOAT. There can only be one. This is the same shit that I was saying the other day to that other person. They were talking about LeBron is the GOAT of this era. Motherfucker, there can only be one GOAT. So it's Jordan or it's Kareem or whoever you want to say the GOAT is. There's only one. That's why they're the GOAT.
I guess. And that's your odds and that's your motherfucking opinion.
To me, I love Chris Benoit, but I wouldn't even say he's the GOAT over Ric Flair, to be honest.
I can. And I stand by it. Think about it, Ric Flair just fucking taunts, basically. He fucking taunts his whole fucking match. That is
so disrespectful to Ric Flair.
I mean, it's true. I'm sorry. He just taunts. He has a catchy taunt. Woo, that's it. I think he fucking okay, babe. Look, we're not going to go there. We're gonna stick with the topic. We're gonna stick with which is Benoit at the moment. So I said my piece about Benoit. Now you go ahead.
I said what I had to say about that nigga.
Well, the topic is people who died too soon. Eddie fucking Guerrero.
I lie, I cheat, I steal. Hold on.
I can agree, but he was never no GOAT. Eddie was never no GOAT.
He was the Mexican GOAT.
Yeah, he put on good matches, but I don't think he belongs up there.
No, so we only talking about niggas that died that was like top level niggas. Okay, I got you. I just thought we were shouting out niggas that died. Well, I mean, you talk about Crash. We went from Crash Holly being in the conversation to you don't think that who he just said could be in the conversation. So I know Crash Holly ain't no damn GOAT.
Exactly.
No, he's not a GOAT. Well, he's a GOAT in the hardcore division, yes, but
okay. Well, that's speaking.
He wouldn't even be top 5 in mine.
Right, exactly. Everybody has their own fucking opinion. I stand by mine, like y'all stand by yours. But go ahead. You said who you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said Eddie Guerrero.
Oh yeah, Eddie.
Yeah.
I lie, I cheat, I steal.
Yeah, he was good.
Ooh.
He was good. That's all I can say is he was good. That's all I gotta say about that one.
China. Young China.
Yes.
I said, hold on, no.
Yes, China. Yes.
He did a couple no-nos, so they mad at you, but it's cool. X-Pac got in. You'll get in one day. Stephanie will eventually get you in like 2055. I mean, you know, Vince is a weird ass man. I stand by it that there's going to be a very dark and twisted autobiography that comes out about Vince McMahon. Like his life is going to be like a tale of horrors, like Madame Laveau on fucking American Horror Story when his book comes out, because his mindset, his logic, and how he does things makes no sense. It has no morality behind it or no rhyme or reason. It's barely even money motivated. It's literally what Vince wants to do. Period. So eventually, what maybe Hunter? The rumor is Hunter is keeping her out. But if Hunter is the main thing keeping her out, then that means eventually when Stephanie makes the call, then we know he about pussy whipped as hell, so she gonna get in. And if it's Vince holding her out, I mean, honestly, I just see Vince. I feel the fact that any girl that did porn made her more favorable in Vince's eyes. So I can't imagine if Vince is the one that's keeping her out. It have to be more of the Hunter rumor to me, or maybe Stephanie. I don't know, but. It damn sure ain't Vince. We know Vince is a perv. That nigga.
But see, but I can't say that
corny
because
as hell.
Since January, they have been showing clips of China since January. Now, way before then, they wasn't showing no clips at all of her. But now they are including her.
Right.
And it's showing like a little
and that's what I'm saying, because they starting to, because this is what they do. Just like, okay, Bret Hart comes out and he dogs a bunch of wrestlers. Bret Hart, he comes out and he dogs Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior, they make a DVD about the dude tearing his ass up, right? Then all of a sudden, the motherfucker comes, he gets back into the fold, gets his award, and dies. And now they give his award to sick little kids. But one of the biggest damning excerpts of that book from Bret Hart was talking about how Bret literally seen a dying kid that was from Make-A-Wish waiting for Warrior. He went into the locker room, came out, went to his match, came back from his match, and he seen the little boy was moved, so he figured, oh, the nigga got to talk to Warrior. Seen the motherfucker in a different part of the hallway because they moved his ass out the way because Ultimate Warrior had to do his run into the ring entrance. Like, so... You gave the motherfucker who used to treat the Make-A-Wish Foundation kids like pieces of shit and afterthoughts, you give his trophy to the sick kids. Makes a lot of sense, Vince.
I think you understand this or not. The award is basically is what John Cena stands for now. Never give up. Keep fighting.
I know, but I'm saying, how do you name an award after somebody who didn't even care about the topic? That's what I'm saying.
Because he never, to me in my eyes, he just never gave up. Like, he always kept pushing. Like, it took him basically, the year he got abducted was the same year he died. Basically, he got abducted and then fucking 3 days later, he fucking died. He never gave up.
I understand that. I'm talking about the morality of it. I'm talking about how a person who's a piece of shit.
And don't give me that fucking look, nigga. Don't give me that fucking look, nigga. Don't give me that fucking look. I'm watching this shit, nigga.
I'm trying to figure out how do you give a motherfucker who is on record multiple occasions being a douchebag and shitting on the Make-A-Wish Foundation, how does his award in the afterthought go to the Make-A-Wish Foundation kids and survivors? I just don't get that. But Vince somehow correlates that them bitches go together. So eventually, no matter how mad or bad or anybody feels towards China, as you see, it's starting to flow in. Lil Rick start doing montages. Stephanie name dropping on the broadcast. She's going to bring back to the forefront eventually. It's just they like I don't know, like they just like to do stuff to do stuff. Like, and we'll get to that in later when it comes to the state of the industry, but they just like to do shit just to do shit, honestly.
Look, I don't fuck about. I'm just gonna move off of it. I'm just gonna move off of it and move on.
I mean, China though. I mean, she more power to her. She deserves to be. I mean, how many other women was an IC champion? I know Alundra won the cruiserweight title, or light heavyweight they called it. I think one of those in WCW. But other than that, I can't say. We know now. No way in hell any one of these women got a chance at an IC title run or a USA title run. So. Shit, bitch, she couldn't even get her hands on. They wouldn't even allow Lil Ricky to get her hands on the goddamn United States title, and they just made that shit up. So, China, she definitely was doing some things to be up there and brought back and honored and all the type of shit. I mean, shit. I mean, we got racists and all types of people in the Hall of Fame. So why not have a porn star? I don't get it.
But see, and that's nothing. Like, why the fuck would you let X-Pac in there and not China? And they was fucking each other. They was in a relationship. They was in a whole fucking relationship when they made the porn tape.
Bros before hoes? Oh.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I'm getting from it.
You know, Hunter don't let them click boys go down. Okay, that's another subject. All right. So if we Owen is pretty much the top. Owen's the top of this list, I'm assuming, unless y'all got somebody higher.
Gotta be the top of the list.
Okay, so is there anybody else that y'all want to throw in before Owen? Because you know I'm just ready to get to the nugget.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Viscera.
Oh, okay. Mohawk, blonde Mohawk.
I'm gonna throw both of y'all for a loop. Test.
Okay, well, so I'm guessing we're not going by the GOAT criteria no more. The GOAT criteria, we done left that.
There never was a GOAT criteria when he said Crash Holly.
Right. Well, I mean, but then when we got to Eddie, and all of a sudden we started talking GOAT criteria. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So you said Test, and then who else? Viscera.
Big Viscera.
Viscera. Or then shout out Umaga.
Umaga. Definitely Umaga. Shout out to Yokozuna. He definitely died way too soon.
Yokozuna.
Yeah. Who else? I mean, there's so many of them, you know.
Ain't the British Bulldog dead?
British Bulldog.
Yep, he died in 2000. Yep.
I'll be right back. I gotta go see if my food's here yet. So I'll be right back.
That's a year. Well, I mean, for me, if there's nobody else you can think of, then we can get to Owen, because that's the main. I mean, to me, that's the main reason I wanted to do this little segment, was just simply because I don't get it. I don't get why he's not part of it. The rumors that I hear, it has to do with his wife, and they don't want people making money off of him. So if that's the case, then all the respect to the Hart family, and you keep on going with it. But Owen is the guy. Like, Owen literally died for this shit. Like, nigga, I died for this shit. He literally died for this shit. Like, and then he a G. Then was a G to get up and walk out. Like, he pulled the Kobe before a Kobe. Like, oh yeah, I just fell from the Raptors. I just frog splashed the turnbuckle with my heart. It's all right. I'm gonna walk out. I'm a G. Like, that just showed that's some tough ass shit. That's like I don't even know what kind of tough that is. That's beyond. There's a whole new word for that type of shit. It's very. That's very. Love the business ain't got nothing to do with it.
He loves the business. The business is in his blood, bro.
I know about the dungeon and all that, but I'm just saying the things like he wasn't.
That actually reminds me of another one. Shout out to Brian Pillman too.
Oh yeah, Pillsbury. But
see, I don't know about Brian. Like, I really can't. I can't really say too much about Brian Pillsbury. I can't. As much as I want to, I really can't. I just got trust people on
Brian's got a gun started the Attitude Era, so regardless of ring or not, he's always going to have a retarded impact on the wrestling industry. But Owen was that first type of Jericho-esque character where I'm going to change characters in front of your face. And I'm going to go back and forth between heel and face. And just be dope about it, and I'm gonna get over things that shouldn't even get over. I'm gonna be the token white guy in the black supremacist group, and I'm gonna come out in a caution onesie, yelling, "I am not a nugget." Who gets that over? I am not a nugget. Owen Hart, like Owen Hart, man. Owen Hart, he had everything in his arsenal. Everything. He had tech. Of course, he has tech. He's a Hart. But then he was doing cruiser stuff before they kind of merged that style into WWE. WWC always had, or WWC, WCW always had it, but they always had it, but it wasn't the same. It was nowhere near the same as what WCW had it. And when Owen was in it, though, he was doing better stuff from the top rope and flips and splashes and running and all that type of stuff than the whole what would be known as the 205 division was doing back then. And he was like 220 something.
Here we go.
Look here, sir.
It was called a cruiserweight. It was called a cruiserweight division back then, sir.
Is the 205 belt not called the cruiserweight belt? So there you go. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. So there you go, sir. There you go. There you go. They're 205ers. But nonetheless, Owen Hart, the Don Dada of the dead niggas, I said you heard. That's probably not politically correct, but...
I mean, I think we all know Owen Hart. When Brett says Owen was the best member of our family in terms of talent, and Brett isn't exactly the most humble guy.
Right, yeah, I know, right?
That pretty much tells you how good he actually was. And if he didn't die tragically the way he did, who knows? We might be talking about Owen being right up there with
17 times.
Right, exactly. 12-time IC champion, 4-time heavyweight champion.
No, he would never get the title. He would never get the title. I mean, I'm sorry. Owen would never get the title. I'm sorry. Because they didn't see Owen. They didn't see Owen as a moneymaker. They didn't see him as a moneymaker. I mean, let's just be honest. They never said him as a moneymaker.
But he was always, by the time he died, the shadow was about to evaporate. It would have been his show if he wouldn't have died when he died. He would have been the Hart. Imagine he never even got to feed off of Rock or Austin or any of those guys in their mega stardom. He was Nation of Domination days, then Blue Blazer like if he would have been able, when them guys took off and skyrocketed, and he would have been able to be part of that. I'm never gonna say they was gonna make him be the guy, but he definitely would have had some more IC title runs and some tag team ups.
Yeah, but he would never been actual champion, like the heavyweight champion. He would never been like the actual champion.
I can't say never. He might have got to touch it.
Because he deserved it when he was alive. He deserved it when he was alive.
Yeah, but back then the prestige of everything was different. No, I don't deny it. I don't deny it. But okay. So if that covers the dead niggas, y'all got any other dead motherfuckers?
Oh, you're so ignorant. You had to say it like that, dog.
I mean, there's more dead motherfuckers, but
I mean, like the ones that we really go care about and go talk about. Like, if y'all got any other ones that feel like y'all need to get off y'all chest?
Not off the top of my head, no.
I'm gonna just say no, but there's still a few more.
Oh, I mean, there's definitely more. It's just I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Right, there's definitely more.
Balls Mahoney, but he was not really... Like, he was never the greatest. He was just an entertaining wrestler who had a lot of passion for ECW and would literally do anything for them to get a match over.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so R.I.P. dead niggas. I said you heard. Hope you kicking it in the clouds. Done though. So now on to the main segment of this. I mean, we don't really have, I don't know the time limit of this, but we'll basically give you what this is about. So we always are having conversation on why people, as fans, why do we feel how we feel? You know, being into some wrestling groups on Facebook, have us encountering a lot of different style of fans, and some of the gripes are the same, some of the gripes are different, but in general, we kind of come to a consensus of why we feel and where we feel wrestling as an industry is right now. So that's what we're going to talk about. I say you heard. And if you just don't understand that, then just listen to what the fuck we about to say. I said done. So basically, I feel like wrestling, the community, I feel like wrestling isn't too much different than it's ever been. I feel like there are factions. If you want to get, you gotta be a smart consumer. If you want something that's in ring based, then you go watch a little bit more some indie product. If you're all about the superhero shit, you go watch WWE. If you want to watch like some wrestling with some good storyline, like some 2000 Attitude Era ish type stuff, go check out some New Japan or some Ring of Honor or some NXT. And it's like there's all for right now. I feel like wrestling is in a great place. It has a little bit of something for everybody. The indie scene is booming. WWE is making more money than ever. They've got a stacked roster. They're not using them properly, but the roster's stacked. You pretty much got comedy acts. You got jobbers. You got funny jobbers. You got mid cards, high mid card, main events. You got women's revolution. You got pretty much everything you could possibly want when it comes to WWE, and then you can get the same or smaller versions from all over the world in their different respectives. The problem really in wrestling, in my opinion, is the community. I think wrestling community is one of the most toxic communities in the world.
How dare you?
It's the truth. We're saying I'm part of it now, but I'm definitely not like. Trust me, I'm part of the NBA community. I'm part of different various. I'm part of the NBA 2K community, one of the most toxic communities in the history of mankind, including Gasada and Gamora. Yes, 2K community is that bad. Quote me on that. But what's a DC Universe community? Y'all some bastards too. There's a lot of fucked up communities out there, but the wrestling is one of the most toxic ones, and I think it's because and me and Sean going over this so much. I feel like it's the jadedness of accepting kayfabe. Like, wrestling is a choice. Like you said, it's your soap operas. If you go watch a telenovela, you know goddamn Maria is going to kill Pablo, but you going to hope that their relationship work out well because it's a telenovela. You don't understand what they talking about, but Maria bad, Pablo got a six-pack, and they got a lot of arguments until she finally kill him in his sleep. That's how wrestling. That's how wrestling is. Like for us to really just be when they do dumb stuff, like if Ronda beats Nia for the belt after you just made Nia's a heel now. How, Sway? That's the type of shit that you critique. Like, how the fuck did that happen? But sometime like with Shinsuke Nakamura, after 3 seconds after the match ended at Mania, everybody was like, oh, that shit was kind of whack. Like, that wasn't what we expected. And then the nut shot her around the world. But then the nut shot happened, and now everybody's like, oh, no, shit, nigga. So it's like, we don't even wait 10 seconds to start criticizing something. We complain about long-term booking without waiting for long-term booking. Like, we just instantly decide that what they got going on, like you don't like Ronda Rousey. Now, maybe her long-term booking can be amazing come WrestleMania. And they can maybe have her book. They can be building her up as this great face just to lose to Lil Rick and make Lil Rick the dominant new woman, Braun, Cena, whatever, because she's ended the streak and now she ends the big-time invader, unlike the men who couldn't end their Braun. Roman couldn't take out Braun, but Lil Rick took out Ronda. We don't know, but most motherfuckers is already basically burying that bitch. Like, why are you still pointing at the sign? Because they just don't want to deal with her, but they don't know how good she could or could not be. In the same breath, they criticizing no long-term booking. You don't even know if they're going to long-term book because you just hate the bitch off rip. And that's what a lot of wrestlers and a lot of people, just like old boy, the dude Willie William or whatever the fuck his name is, Willy Wonka, dude from Wrestling Group, he criticizes the hell out of all WWE shit just to be in the chat riding certain characters' woods because they do something that he likes on Raw. Like, bruh, you just talked all that shit for 2 weeks, and now that they finally did something that you like, oh, it's on and popping again because you didn't wait for the booking to play out. Maybe you, like, as wrestling fans, us being so jaded or looking at things of, oh, like, why is Shawn Michaels stomping on the ground before he kicks? That's stupid. If you stomped on the ground in a real fight, you're going to hear it and then dodge it. This ain't no real fight, dog. Remember when you was little and you thought Ultimate Warrior shaking the ropes meant everybody was about to die? Now you don't even believe Jeff Hardy doing the swanton if the table don't break? Like, It's
Well, with that, they reinforced the tables, but yeah.
well,
They
but
didn't,
I think it's our fault way more than it is the actual. It's definitely not the wrestlers' fault. Wrestlers are at an all-time high. I think from the bottom to the top, even though the indie wrestlers aren't as good as WWE wrestlers, New Japan wrestlers, some of them aren't as good as WWE wrestlers. But as you go up through the ranks, you see the level increase, and you can tell these guys are high level athletes doing high level work compared to back in the day where the biggest superstar in the world, everybody pretty much said he sucked when it came to Hulk Hogan. So we don't, you know what I'm saying? Wrestlers, they're doing their grizzly. Now booking might be at an all-time low. Like what's name, as far as how people are being presented, who's getting to be champions, how long people get to keep their championships, and all these different type of things. That's debatable, and yeah, there is some realm where the fan deserves some bullshit, but at the same time, sometimes we just gotta shut the fuck up and sit back and just enjoy the shit. Like I hate to see a shitty woman wrestler get a chance, but at the same time, I'll be sitting here talking about Mela is the GOAT. I know goddamn well Mela ain't no fucking GOAT, but you know, it's fun for me because I like Mela. Now, on the same breath, I'll be mad as fuck if they gave. No offense, I love you, but if they gave Sonya Deville a title match, I would be fucking upset. Like, bitch, where, why, and how? Exactly, right.
Why?
Right. So I understand why people are upset. I mean, but for the same reason that you upset at Ronda. What the fuck this bitch done shown? At least Melo won the fucking Money in the Bank. Shit. Twice. 2 times.
She didn't do shit.
Cause she the GOAT. She beat Charlotte twice. 2 times. All 3 fingers 2 times. Hey, you brought this on yourself. But yeah, so my conversation to start off, Sean, was that I feel like it's the community's fault more than it is wrestling's fault. When it comes to the jadedness and, you know, the always poking holes in every goddamn thing and maybe not getting the results we want. Because with this social media era, do we not feel that when we bitch constantly, they're not either trolling us or trying to outthink us? Like, if we know something's going to happen, are they not trying to, like Roman? We knew Roman was going to win. Did they not make a last-minute decision to let Brock keep it so that we were right?
Yeah. That's fine.
Fuck them.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily the community's fault.
God damn it, B.
What?
Nothing. Keep going, Sean.
I think it's wrestling has gotten too transparent. I think that's the problem. When you were a kid, you didn't know 3 weeks before the pay-per-view. You know,
But
now
that's
look,
the internet.
like they haven't even officially announced Nikki Cross versus Shayna for the pay-per-view, and we know that's what the women's title match is going to be because it leaked. Like,
I didn't see that, but I knew it was going to happen.
But, you know, so we didn't have that when we were 8 years old watching, you know, the Attitude Era and shit. I'm not going to say that it didn't exist because maybe the people who are our age now, back then, knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know what was going to happen back then as a kid. Now, we find out everything before it even happens. Like, you'll know a match is supposed to be for a pay-per-view, and it hasn't even been announced on the actual show yet because they've already done the contract signing for it. So,
Well, no, but they also promote it. They let you know, like, when, like, if
Like the North American title match?
Yeah, like if we go to like Chicago, like if we go to like the All-State Arena website right now, you'll be able to see who's going to fight at Takeover. Well, at Takeover Chicago. Although they didn't announce it yet, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think that the transparency is positive in some ways, but I also think it's negative in some ways. Like when we find out, oh, the pipe bomb was not planned, and it was The only reason
Yes.
we point out
That's
botches
a botch.
is because you
We
can
don't point them
clearly
out,
see
you point
it.
them
Like,
out.
right. So it's because you can clearly see it. There's not really any way to pretend you didn't see it. But if somebody says something they're not supposed to say, you're not supposed to know that they weren't supposed to say that. But we do, because of the transparency of everything. So that's what I think. And I think that the community is toxic. I think that there's a lot of
Did it? What? He wasn't
division.
even on mic when I said that. Just pointing that, just putting that out there. When I said that the community is toxic, and you said I begged your pardon, Sean wasn't on mic. He was getting pizza. Just to put that out there. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, the community is toxic. Like, those wrestling groups are blatantly obvious. Like, when you've got people arguing and they say things like, you haven't watched enough of their matches to make that comment, you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so he was making a personal point. Okay.
Like, they are hipsters. They are hipsters, and hipsters make me want to shoot things.
Oh,
Like,
no.
they're so aggravating. They really are. Like, oh, you're so elitist. Oh, sorry, I haven't watched all 5 million hours of New Japan footage in the archives. My bad, I guess I can't talk about New Japan. Like, I just want, when that dude said that shit, I was like, it only takes me one Shawn Michaels match to know I'm watching the best wrestler in his era.
I mean, facts.
But you're saying watching 4 Okada matches, I haven't watched enough of his matches to have an opinion of him. No, it's that your dude is trash. He's not that good. He's horribly overrated, and he shouldn't be the IWGP champion. He's overrated.
That was a
Period.
shoot.
He is.
See, I don't know what y'all be going through in that group.
Like,
I don't go
he's an
through
alright
nothing. I left.
wrestler. He's a good wrestler. He doesn't have botches. He has a really nice drop kick. His finishing move is openly the weakest of any champion I've ever seen. It's
Weak
literally like, it's
Weak
so weak
sauce?
sauce. Like, it's ridiculous.
The clothesline. The clothesline.
It's not even like Bradshaw at least did a running clothesline.
It's not a Bradshaw clothesline?
No, he literally does.
He does Seth Rollins' knee, but he clotheslines you.
Exactly, like where he has their like
Or
arms
I'm sorry,
twisted
Kenny
in front of
Omega's
him,
knee.
and
My
then-
bad, cleaner. It's Kenny Omega's knee.
And then he pulls them. It's a finishing move.
Because
His
he always
damn
had that.
tombstone
He had that money
is
coming
more
down.
impactful than his clothesline, and his clothesline is the finisher. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Okada.
I don't
like
see how-
Okada.
yeah, I don't
have
see how he
nothing
does
against
that.
him personally, but he's not even the best wrestler in his own company. How can anyone say he's the best wrestler in the world is beyond me. So anyway,
Facts.
and if your defense mechanism is to say you've only seen 4 of his matches, that's not enough to get an accurate opinion on the character. Bruh, I watched his 4 best matches. All of them were over 5-star ratings by Brad Meltzer. If that's not enough to get an opinion of somebody,
Well, here's my
then
question:
what the
Are
fuck?
all his best matches with Omega?
3 out of his like 6 are.
Yeah. So
3 out of
that
his 6 are with Omega, and then his match with Naito, which apparently
okay,
they wrestled
Naito.
like
Well,
twice.
I was say
And then the
Naito.
other one everyone brings up is his match with like some other dude I don't know the name of. It's like
Does he have
Tsuchiyama or
any
Shima or
like
some
good
shit.
matches with scrubs? That's my question.
I mean, people say he does, but I've also never seen him wrestle a scrub because all of his title defenses are against top name guys. Like, I've never seen him wrestle I've never seen him wrestle like a fucking Curtis Axel to defend the belt.
Right.
Like-
Well, they don't do that in New Japan, so.
Exactly. So, yeah, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So,
Very true.
rant over.
Right.
The community
Okay.
is toxic as fuck. It's a big pissing contest. You either like WWE or you hate WWE. There is no middle ground. Like, these people can't like both. If you like New Japan or you like Lucha Underground or whatever.
You could, but
I'm saying, but people don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it. Well, I'm not saying you can't like both. I'm saying nobody does. They're either Japanese wrestling fans or they're WWE fans. Like, I don't even really see people being. It's funny though, because the Japanese fans, they will talk about Ring of Honor. They'll talk about basically everything except WWE. It's like Japan / Indies versus WWE.
well, that's because Japan just crossed over the threshold of being an indie for real. We want to be honest, and
well, not really. Japan has always been an indie. It's just that Japan hasn't been like it's global.
that's what I'm saying. Now they're getting global. Omega's made them global. Jericho's made them global.
Not according to that fucking kid I was talking to in the forum. It's all Okada.
Okay. Yeah. Look, we on the same page. So we're not even gonna start. We're not gonna start tag team ranting. We just gonna say that we know that. Put it this way: the casual fan, the casual guy, the people that don't fuck with it, the WWE market, which is a bigger market than New Japan market. They started caring about New Japan when Chris Jericho wrestled Kenny Omega. That's when the casual fan cared about that. So like I was saying to B earlier, I feel like wrestling itself is doing a great job. It's the fans' job to go and find your type of wrestling or what you're in the mood for. If you want to be in the mood for some funny fun, some antics, some jokey jokes, and some high-level big muscles, sexy bitches, WWE is where you go. If you want to see Pipe to fight, let it fly. Take your ass to Japan, and you're going to get the same thing on the men's side, too. You're going to get all the flippy shit that you want from technical wrestlers, because they could do both. You want storylines and some of the flippy shit, take your ass to Ring of Honor or NXT. You got a niche. You want some craziness? Go find you a backyard wrestling promotion or anybody that's promoting themselves on YouTube, and you will go find some craziness. You can get whatever you want. But you got to be willing to go out and get it, and you got to also accept that wrestling is that diverse. Like, it's already had so many. It's had a hardcore era. It's had a plain kiddish era with clowns are wrestling and clowns are wrestling hockey player era. You got ruthless aggression area. You got women's revolution. You got the indie scene doing what they're doing. Right now we in that 6 foot WCWO. Hold on, no. Said you heard Shane Bates. Check the swag. No, shout out. That's the plug. Indianapolis Friday nights 7:30. I think it was 7:30.
Doors open at 6:30. 7:30
Doors open at
bell.
6:30. I said, you heard. Shout out, Mr. 6 foot, the fourth. I can't remember your name. The fourth.
Shout out to 2x4.
2x4.
Shout out to Amish
that was a group
Levi.
name. Oh yeah, Levi. Yeah, your young boy Levi. And
definitely shout out to my boy Calvin with the hardest chops I've seen since Rich Flair.
Oh, Calvin. Yeah, they screwed you on the belt, bro. Get that champion, bruh. You ain't see that that big black dude that. Oh yeah, you got to be there. You had to be there, bro.
80-pound dude.
Letting them fly. Letting them fly.
Bob Holly always did it better than Ric Flair. To me, I'm sorry.
And shout out to Sage, because any guy who's 160 pounds and can get in there and put on a performance like that, you get my props.
Yeah, they did a good job. Anybody that's out in the Indianapolis area and you do care, you like wrestling, you like WWE, but you want to see where these guys start out at, a couple of those guys that Seth Rollins trained, no legit, the dudes we got these from, Seth Rollins trained. See, sir, if that's your thing, then yeah, that's there as well. Indianapolis WCWO Wrestling. It's Saturdays. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30.
Also, shout out to Alley Cat. I want to wifey you.
Ooh, Alley Cat. I said, hold on.
She said tonight that's trash.
Okay, look here, sir. You don't have to. You ain't gotta act like that.
But the name is like.
Okay, hold on. Our dude D Dub says Titus O'Neil though. So look here, bruh. Titus
What about Titus
O'Neil?
O'Neil?
I don't. He
World
just
slide? What you got?
World slide. What's wrong with World slide? Tell me.
World slide is comic relief. He does his job.
And he's a marketing genius. Come on now, you fall on your face, you gonna make money off of it, or you gonna get laughed at? He took laughs and made that shit paper. I said, hold on.
Dollar bills, y'all.
And watch and my God, because you got to go. I could probably got access to him. You probably got to go on Facebook and watch him and see him. But I mean on YouTube. But yeah.
On YouTube directly.
I don't know. Go to live chat, sir. I don't know. But
I'm
Titus about to get him he gonna get him a good old Marvel role. I got faith in you. He about to be Wakanda forever.
He about to be like Marvel or somebody. You just don't know it yet.
Oh, you right. Nah, but he got mad personality. I can't give him Marvel. That's a very important role, and I don't know how good his chops is. But I would be willing to see him be like a Skrull or a Kree, possibly like Terry Crews, Terry Crews and Deadpool. You know, just get murked real quick at somebody. I'm mad they did that to my nigga Bedlam though. Bedlam is nice in the comics. Y'all ain't had to do Bedlam like that, but Ryan Reynolds, I have faith in you, and Ryan we trust Deadpool to go.
Yeah, well, Ryan already rewrote history on everything, so.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, no.
But now we're getting off topic.
Titus O'Neil though. Titus worldwide.
World
slide. Hold on, no. But yeah. So, B, I guess I'm pretty sure we done lost track. So go ahead and give us your opinion on it. Me and Sean both got the community is toxic for 1,000.
So I wouldn't say the community is toxic for what I would say that they are listening to the wrong people. They're getting their information from the wrong people.
Hashtag justice for Gil.
Justice for Gil. Mr. Me Too.
He Too. Hashtag He Too movement.
Alright, I did that see. When it comes to wrestling.
Alright, I gotta go grab a drink and get some more food. I'll be right back.
Alright, but you know, when it comes to wrestling, you know, y'all all have football, y'all all have basketball.
I don't do that cool NFL. You know that. I'm cool on that. Why does no one came here? I don't know what that means, one-eyed cat. Right. Right, they go ham.
At the same time, it's like they're listening to the wrong people. Like, yeah, they listen to they listen to their fans on what they gotta improve.
Who? You gotta elaborate. You gotta be. This ain't the short version, sir. We live. You gotta elaborate. Give us the long-winded version.
What the fuck, y'all niggas already know?
But you ain't talking to us. You talking to them. You talking to them.
The chat already know.
Oh no, they don't. But no, I'm saying, tell them when you say they aren't listening to the right people. Say who they is. That's what I'm saying. Like give details.
The people. They listen to the people.
Who listens to the people?
Especially, WWE.
There you go.
But they're not listening to the right people.
Right. Okay.
Like you get what you're doing, but it's not the way you need to do it. Where they say the fans get to pick all the matches, but
hold on. Oh my goodness.
To me, that was also rigged.
Taboo Tuesdays.
Cause that was the shit. They fucked that up.
Is that inviting enough for you, one-eyed cat? I am a beast. I'm a monster, and everybody on here petty as shit. People come here when they feel like.
What she had to say, right? I mean, maybe I gotta put that shit back on my phone.
I don't know. She just said she told me to smile to seem more inviting, and she wondered why something.
Bitch, read this.
a Zen 765. What's good, bro? He said, "Yo, girl, why would I cover my legs? This is my room. I'm in my comfort zone." You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
shit!
You
Oh,
only
so she
got
can do that personal. Oh,
you.
wait a minute now, bitch. You getting that personal now, bitch. If you feel that lonely, go out there and get yourself on Tinder or whatever app you need to get on. You getting a little impersonal here, bro. Chill out.
I said you
We
only
just
got
here.
one
Relax.
eye. Just cover that motherfucker up. I said
Shut
you
the
heard.
fuck up. Is she really got one eye?
It said one cat. It said one-eyed cat.
Just make it even. That's a that's not nah. But you know what?
All
I'm
right.
stop.
No, it's
I'm
just saying
stop.
she is one of them people that just like to say shit to see if we gonna keep on
Oh
talking to him,
oh
because he said like,
so that makes
the,
it true. Okay, I got you. I
yeah,
got you.
that or
Okay.
it's one eye. That's why it's like one-eyed cat.
That bitch is just lonely. Okay, she just lonely. Okay, I got you. Okay. All right,
But
whatever.
yeah, no, you were saying.
That's a pirate right there.
A
That's the
pirate.
pirate. That's the
Oh,
pirate.
who? Kyrie saying?
That's the pirate right there. That's the
All
pirate.
right, I'm back,
That's the
gentlemen.
pirate. The one-eyed bitch. That's the pirate right there.
Oh
That's
no,
the true pirate.
here you
That's
go.
the pirate right there.
What happened now?
That's the pirate. Are we talking to a one-eyed bandit right now?
A
And I
one-eyed bandit.
yeah. You heard me the right. You heard me the first time. Yes, the one-eyed bandit. Yes.
Who the fuck is the one-eyed bandit?
Somebody that's in the chat. I can't see the comments for some odd reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it's the one-eyed bandit. I guess that's God's will letting me know not to see the chat. But yeah, that's the one-eyed bandit.
Well, what did the one-eyed bandit say?
Give him a refresher, Jose.
I mean, nothing. What's them? Just not talking shit for us. One of them people that just say like it was like tell me to cover up my leg and why it was tell me to smile more, silly ass shit. You know, just first.
A fucking creep. You're like that cat.
Why would you need to cover up your leg?
I told you it's a creep.
But
it's a fucking creep.
This nigga got the Kyrie zone. But yeah. So B feel okay, but B, you were saying that you feel WWE is listening to the wrong people. They listening, but they listening to the wrong people.
They're
so
listening, yes.
Go ahead.
They need a more in-depth look of it, especially. Just when you think somebody is good, they just turn on you, bam, and vice versa. And then after you do it, you just stand there and just give like an unforgiving look, like, bitch, yeah, I did it, so that, now what? You don't get that too much anymore. You don't get that shit no more. You don't get that too much anymore.
Maybe. I'm trying to remember. The last thing that, like, legit shocked me before WrestleMania was the whole Roderick Strong turning on Pete Dunne and then Nakamura doing the low blow. The last thing that like really shocked me was when Triple H kicked Seth Rollins in the Universal Championship match.
Oh, with Kevin Owens?
Mm-hmm.
Roger Strong, that shocked me. The Roger Strong definitely shocked me. I didn't see that coming.
No, that didn't shock me. That's NXT, but yeah, that didn't shock me. It's the only thing for him to do. Either that or his ass would have got released. Like, what else for him
to do? Look here. Leave Roderick alone. Leave him alone. Okay, so my thing is, if you're listening to the wrong, talk about what's wrong, okay, so we say the community is a lot of it. So, okay, boom. So now let's really pick on what is the issue with the company. Because the indies for the most part, New Japan, I feel like they got it figured out for what they are. I don't really feel, I'm not saying that they don't have flaws, but I'm not really saying, I'm not worried about their flaws, because honestly, you're not big show. So even New Japan to me is like the league up. Like when you get to New Japan, you're one step away from WWE if you're not coming out of NXT. Or New Japan is your way into NXT.
And with 7 2018 IIHS top safety picks, all thanks to an assortment of advanced safety features. And all by America's best warranty. Hyundai SUVs, a great deal more than just a great deal.
I wouldn't necessarily say New Japan is the minor leagues.
Not minor, but just people would leave New Japan to go to WWE.
Yes, but there's also people who leave WWE to go to New Japan.
Do they leave, or do they end up in fucked up situations and then run out the company or get fired?
I mean,
I'm just saying, like, is it a personal choice? Yes, because it is a personal choice for Nakamura to come to NXT and then go up to WWE after being IWPG champ and being big shit. Same thing with AJ. Whereas Austin Aries ran to Impact because he didn't like his situation. If he would have got a chance to be the champion at WWE, then yeah, he would have ride that shit to the wheels fall off. Or at least be in the mid-card title picture, but he was on 205 not getting no damn burn. Now, if he would have had a situation that he preferred, would he have left it to go to New Japan, whereas champions of New Japan leave and come to WWE? No, they're not going to do that. So it does make a difference.
I mean, I think it's 6 one way, half dozen the other, because why are they leaving in the first place? They're not coming to WWE because it's a better company.
Well, no, I didn't say that, but it's the big show. That's all I said. It's the big show.
But it's the big show because they have the most money.
Okay, but it's the big show. I'm not saying, but I didn't. That doesn't. All right. I'm not saying it. I'm not really going into the quality. I'm not calling them the minors because they're lesser. I'm calling them the minors because they're not the big show.
I mean, to me, it is the big show. It's just a different kind of show.
But is it as big as WWE?
I mean, is it as big as WWE? No, because WWE makes significantly more money than any other wrestling company in the world.
Because they're the big show.
I missed the whole conversation. I'm sorry. I missed the whole conversation. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so is
LeBron or Jordan the GOAT? Jordan's the GOAT.
Is the English Premier League bigger than La Liga, where Barcelona plays?
No, but FIFA's bigger than all that shit.
But FIFA is the collection of everything.
Exactly. That's basically what WWE is. The collection of the best wrestlers end up in WWE.
No, see, WWE is English Premier League. Or Champions League, whatever.
No, okay, well there, good. You just answered my question, or you just answered your question for me. WWE is Champions League. Champions League is the best league, period. That makes the most money because it's the champion from every single league. Everybody else, all the Premier League, New Japan is the Premier League. Them niggas is trying to get in to the Champions League. It's okay, like if you become the champion of the Premier League, if you become New Japan's champion, then boom, you're good. You feel you loving it, but you still will try to become WWE's champion, and you'll keep pushing to try to get to WWE. That's why so many have vacated their status at New Japan to come over. I mean,
think it's only certain wrestlers who do that. Like AJ did it.
AJ and Knock. Some of the biggest,
American,
some of the biggest guys they got. Asuka,
Nakamura did it.
Tommy.
Okay, Asuka and Nakamura did it because they knew that they had reached the limit of their publicity as far as
so there's bam, and there you go.
So they're after money.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. That it's the big show. It's the one where the bread is
at.
at.
Make more money.
Okay.
If you can make. Okay, so you can make 10 million to be the New Japan champion, or 20 million to be some fucking Titus O'Neil on WWE.
Then you go with the 20 million. That's what I'm saying.
But not everybody would, because.
But
Kenny
a lot
Omega hasn't
left. Like, dude's young. There's rumors about him all the time.
Cody said he will never go back to WWE.
But why did he leave WWE? Because he was in a fucked up situation and he left. And now he's out here on his own. Why would he stifle his grind after he just sold out his own arena? Why? Yeah, I would never go back either. I don't need you niggas.
Leagues.
They are the big leagues. Because he's in ownership now. He's not just a wrestler. He's an owner now. He sold out that shit. Not New Japan, not Ring of Honor. Cody did. So now he competing with Vince. He not competing with Titus O'Neil and them. He trying to fuck with Vince. We know he's not. That's a different conversation. But in his mind, he's doing Vince shit, promoter shit. He's wrestling, yeah, but he's promoting. He's putting the bread up. He's getting shit together. He getting shit done. These niggas is just trying to be wrestlers. So of course, why would I go back and be taught by some shit that I can eventually do myself? But it's still the big. If he just wanted to be the best he could be at wrestler, and he wasn't doing all this all in and shit, I don't doubt Cody would get another contract if they would say, yeah, go ahead and be yourself and do what you want to, and we'll give you your last name back. I guarantee Cody's ass will be right back in the fucking WWE.
No, that's not a no. He liked the freedom, boy. He can wrestle in all different type of organizations and
now
the title.
Yeah, now because he eating. But
he's eating way more than what he was before now.
Right. No, he is. No, he said that. That ain't even an opinion. That's a fact. He didn't admit it. He making way more now than he ever made in WWE. But he's also into way more shit. He wasn't putting shows together in WWE. He was wrestling. Like there's levels to the shit.
You can say what you want about WWE being the big leagues. The best
no, not the big league. They're the big show.
New Japan.
They're the big show. That's what I'm saying. Like they're the big show. I'm not talking anything about talent. I'm not talking about anything about talent. Like nothing about talent. I'm talking about when my conversation arose when I say that WWE is the big show. That's where people try to get to. That's why they're getting there to get that bread. I never said that they're the talent. The talent, we know there's hella talent all over, but we all know WWE's roster is stacked with talent as well, though. But
I mean, is it stacked with talent if you're not using it though?
Yeah, it's stacked with talent because they're paying it. But just because they're creative as idiots, that's not Apollo Cruz's fault. That doesn't make him less talented because they're idiots. That doesn't make Nikki less talented because she doesn't get to Ben had a title match by now.
Than WWE. That's just my personal opinion.
And the phenomenal one disagrees with you. So I'm just saying, like,
worked everywhere.
Right? And he left exactly, and he's seen it all. And where did he want to go and end up?
He wanted to go to WWE because that's the only place he hadn't worked. He wanted a challenge. He had already won the IWGP Championship.
Okay, He wanted the challenge, so that means there was great talent there. And also, go ahead and say it. He wanted that
money.
Yes, sir.
Sure, I'm sure he wanted the money.
You make your point no much better, Sean. You basically said that Jose was right. I'm listening to both of y'all, but the way how you just broke it down, you just made it seem like Jose was right with it.
No,
we don't disagree. I never said anything to be disagreed with. All I said is they're the big show. They're not the most talented place to be, but they're where niggas go to get paid.
They are the ones that people go to get famous.
Right. So that's why we talk about them the most when we critique wrestling. While New Japan and them, those are kind of the indie. Like New Japan
New Japan isn't an indie.
Not anymore. Not anymore. But
it
was
it been an indie
since
in a
when?
Long time.
How long?
Years.
How many years?
I mean, I think New Japan started showing on TV here in America at least 5 or 6 years ago. And
Okay.
that's honestly, I don't follow that closely,
Okay.
so I could be wrong.
WWE been the big show since the 80s. That's what I'm saying. Them
Okay.
niggas was indie when they
Okay.
started at some point, and now they're up. Like that's my bro. Okay, we arguing about the wrong
First
shit.
off, do you understand
I'm
what
not
indie
even.
means?
It means you independent and you build your way from the bottom up, and then now you get commerce and you become a big company. At one point, Vince Sr. was indie before he took over the territories and then got everything that they got. You got to start somewhere. They had a start. They were indie before they became big shit, but now that they're big shit, they still not WWE. And that's just what I'm saying when it comes to where niggas is trying to go. That's why we critique. If we wasn't critiquing, there wouldn't be the critique on wrestling that it's watered down and blah 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 if we wasn't critiquing WWE, because we know New Japan and them is out there getting gutted and grimy and pushing the envelope. But them the casual fan where the bread is going that puts that shit on TV, them niggas is watching WWE. This is the same thing you tell them niggas on the page.
Yes. The casual fan watches WWE. The casual fan also doesn't know shit about wrestling.
But the casual fan probably spends a lot more money on it because the smart fan ain't wasting his bread on some bullshit. They are. And that's where the motherfuckers is gearing it to. And all I'm saying is a lot of the criticism that comes on wrestling, that's why I feel like all the wrestling is doing their job, but fans are toxic and don't go and do the research because everybody's critiquing WWF and is spewing onto the other foundations because WWE is the big show. Yeah, I called it WWF. I don't give a fuck. That's what I watch. I would call that shit all the damn time, but I don't want Vince to come get me. So or the panda people, whatever the fuck. I don't know shit.
He is gonna come get you. You call it WWF, so he will come and get you. But you know, that's
no, this is the panda people that's gonna come and get me. With damn about them goddamn pandas.
World Wildlife Fund, motherfucker.
Yeah, World Wildlife Federation or whatever the fuck they call them. I ain't got time for it. But WWE, I feel like there's a bad rap on wrestling because everybody watched that and then you can't expect crazy in-ring stuff all the time from WWE.
Why not?
On the main roster. Their traveling schedule, the PG, the restrictions that they put on the wrestlers. Which know this.
They put on themselves.
Right, okay. Yes, I understand that, but that's what makes them the most money. And wrestlers agree to fit in.
The most money.
Well, that's what's making they're making their money off of. But that's before before the sanctions and everything else changed, though. Before the networks, it's hard for me to believe that if they were still making that much money off of that type of shit and they weren't making more money now, I don't think we would be getting this product. I don't think they would gear their shit towards kids to make less money when everybody just says, "Oh, Vince is just all about money."
No, they would, because kids are a renewable resource, adults are not. So you're
saying take less money, make less money is the strategy that Vince McMahon chose.
Because it's a long-term investment. Instead of making more money now, they're making more money in the long term. Every year, there's going to be little 6-year-olds who want to wear John Cena shirts because of what John Cena stands for.
So the WWE is worth more back then than it is now?
Where Stone Cold Steve Austin isn't popular anymore because he's targeted at the adult audience. And they might decide they don't like Stone Cold Steve Austin anymore, and then they stop buying his t-shirts, and then you stop making money. There's always going to be kids rooting for the stereotype babyface, whether that was Hulk Hogan, whether that's John Cena, whether that's Daniel fucking Bryan and his stupid ass Yes t-shirts that I hate. Whoever the fuck they want the babyface to be gets cheered, because little kids are going to do the dumb thing and cheer for the person they're supposed to cheer for. They're not smart enough to know otherwise.
But then why ain't Roman over?
Because Roman isn't a babyface. Roman is a tweener. He's not a heel and he's not a face. and Roman doesn't have a stupid ass catchphrase gimmick, I'm the big dog doesn't sound as marketable as, well, let me tell you something, sister brother, or hustle, loyalty, respect, or yes, 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 or all the stupid catchphrases that they usually use, or just bring it, or layeth the smacketh down. This is my yard doesn't really resonate with the kids.
So then why continuously push?
Because Vince wants Roman to be champion. And Vince is the owner of the company, so he gets to do what he wants. That's really all that comes down
Exactly,
to.
and then what he wants is to make bread. So that's what the fuck he does. And that
But
nigga,
if what he actually wanted to make was to make bread, he would stop pushing Roman because he'd realize people literally walk out during his matches and pay-per-views because they're tired of seeing him.
but walking
So
out.
if he actually cared about making money, he wouldn't be putting Roman in the
But
main
okay,
event.
but let's see. Do you get a refund for walking out, and do you get your money back from the network because you turned the pay-per-view off? No. So he still made the money because we still watch the shit.
Losing advertising money, though.
Pay-per-views possibly. When the niggas walk out, nah. They still they already got the bread for the shit being all over the stadium.
But you're also not taking into account when they leave and they say, fuck this, I'm never going to another pay-per-view again.
Yeah, but how many people really do that? Because if that was the case, this shit would have been dead a long time ago. So
people definitely do that.
People
definitely do that. I mean, it's
not enough.
It's not. I mean, it's not like
not enough.
100 million people, but
yeah, right. And then for every person that does that, there's a bunch of little motherfuckers that get brought into it to suck it all up even more. The point is
why I said
WWE.
Children are the renewable resource.
Right. So that would be where the money's at.
I don't think it's where the money's at. I think it's just that it's a smarter investment for your programming.
But it's always money in kids. That's where the money's at.
There is always money in kids, but if that were the case, again, I would direct you to the Attitude Era where they made more money catering to an adult-themed audience.
And that was a hot wave of the generation. You even yourself said they're not going to ever bring it back and couldn't bring it back because it wouldn't get over in this time period because of how pussyfied the community
because people are soft.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly.
You got
So they
these soy boy parents out there who don't even think it's okay to yell at your kid, much less spank them.
That's what I'm saying. They took advantage of a society point, but that was a smart business decision.
And Beavis and Butthead.
Right. But now, they understood that this shit wasn't going to last, and they stayed. They've been with kids. For that one little time period, epilepsy was like boom, capitalize on these rowdy niggas. But now we back to the kids. It's always the money. Vince always where the money is. That's where the money's been at. That's what he does. What makes the most money. That's why them niggas keep making more money.
Roman suck.
I mean, you do.
I hate this nigga.
Well, yeah, I know that.
So, all right, I gotta go smoke a cigarette. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
I think you heard.
Yeah, no, I'm just finishing up dinner. I'm waiting on.
Well.
So y'all was that long ass rant.
Yeah, I mean that's basically where this conversation was going to lead. He don't even know why he was arguing with me though, because the whole time I said everything he was already saying. But it made for good TV. But I mean that's pretty much it though. Where we're at, we've all come to pretty much the same conclusion that fans suck. You got to go out and search your own wrestling. You gotta know what you want to watch, know where to find it. YouTube, Google, hell of a tool. You know, New Japan, Ring of Honor, WWE, NXT, 205 Live. I said, you heard?
Oh god, you just cannot end it.
There's like, what is it, PGW, What Culture Wrestling? There's all types of good shit. Adam Cole, baby. I ain't did that in a while, so I just felt like doing that. But until when is the pay-per-view be? We coming up
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. June the 17th. We'll be going live. We'll be going live directly after the pay-per-view. Okay, maybe not directly live.
No,
because niggas gotta
yeah.
get their life together. Like
About an hour after the
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view. I'll say about an hour after the pay-per-view. So roughly midnight-ish.
Hopefully Teddy can stay up for that one. But, I plan on it.
Instead of snoring in the damn...
Listen, that was your fault. Y'all took a whole fucking 2 hours to get the shit started. First of all,
no, we did not, sir. No, we did not. We definitely did not.
Directly after, sir.
It wasn't directly after, but we just said we gonna take about an hour, so you already knew that. So basically,
no, I wasn't prepared. Well,
June 17th, Money in the Bank. Mela is Money defends her title. That's headlining the show. I said you heard.
And she they gonna screw Oscar over so bad. They gonna drop
Oscar and Mela headlining Money in the Bank. I said you heard. And none of the other matches matter. So. Until then,
what you mean?
The petty review. Petty review.
Ronda and motherfucking Naya. That's what something to be right now. It's Ronda and fucking Naya.
But the main event will be Mela is Money because Mela's Money. So she the GOAT. So until Mela in the Bank, I said you hear me. Hold on, no, this your boy. Oh,
what do you mean? No, fuck you mean? No. What the fuck? No. No, if that's the main event, I'm not even watching no more. I bet you my whole paycheck. If that's the main event, nigga, I'm gonna give you my whole paycheck. I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'll be activating my email.
No, y'all hear it here. I get a whole check if Mela headline. Yes, sir. Let's go. Mela is Money. So until Mela in the Bank.
You said it. No, motherfucker. You said that's the main event.
Yeah, the main event. The main event. She headlined the show. She main event. So until Mela is back, Mela in the Bank. I say you heard. This your boy Jose.
Yeah.
And the petty one.
Don't talk to me right now. How fucking dare you? Say you made some bullshit like that. How fucking dare you?
From the petty one and Shine the Don. I said you hear me. Hold on. And Mela gonna be in that main event. And we are.